Hello and welcome to a foxy little black number on the edge. Okay, let's get the box out. What is he talking about? Right, here it is. A BlackFOX knife. So there it is. So this is the BlackFOX Munin, M-U-N-I-N. It's a Mikkel Willumsen design. That's the designer that hails out of Denmark. And in fact, I did a review of another one of his knives made by We Knives. It was the We Knives Suja. Check that review out. You'll actually see the similar sort of design language in this. So he's obviously got a little bit of a style, I suppose, as most designers do. But you can certainly see that design language coming through in this knife as well. BlackFOX is then a division of Fox Knives, and I always thought that BlackFOX was kind of their budget range, just based on the price that I'd seen. But looking at the Fox Knives website, and I'm going to read it to you as they describe BlackFOX. So BlackFOX, they say, is a line of products from the Fox Knives company that have been designed to meet the needs of those who practice outdoor activities. And then they list some of those outdoor activities, just in case you didn't know what that could mean. So you've got camping, fishing, and hunting. There you go. Now you know what outdoor activities are. They also describe it as an excellent choice for professionals like rescue teams, firefighters, and law enforcement. I guess that means business people are not professionals. Right. Anyway, that's how they word it. So let's go through some of the materials and so on the knife. We have a 440C blade, stonewash, as you can clearly see. Handle is G10, clip stainless steel. We'll speak a little bit about that later on. And then we have a ball bearing pivot. Dimensions of this chap. We have a blade length of 8.5 centimeters. That's 3.35 inches. Blade thickness of 3.5 millimeters or 0.14 inches. Handle thickness of nothing. Handle thickness of, I know my caliper's lying around here somewhere. There you go. Scratch that out there. Wait. Let's get him zeroed and pop that on there. 0.52 inches. 0.52 inches, and that in millimeters is 13.2 millimeters. Right, there we go. And lay him down there again for you. What have we done? We spoke about overall length, 19 centimeters or 7.48 inches. I did speak about that, I think. Did I? All right, if I didn't, there it is, 19 centimeters overall length, 7.48 inches weight. Let's get the old black hole scale on here that is seriously full of fingerprints. Hopefully that doesn't come across. And get that, come on. Grams, let's see what we have. 123 grams I get, and it was zeroed, yeah. 4.3 ounces. Yeah, it was zeroed. There we go. 123 grams or 4.3 ounces. Right, I was busy looking for the thumb tabs there. Flipper open. So that's as far as the specs go. So yeah, stealthy looking little guy, all black liner, stainless steel liners, black hardware, Torx hardware, by the way. It looks like it could be proprietary, but it is Torx. So for those who do like scratching around in their knives, you can certainly do that on this. And then of course that black stonewashed 440C blade. I don't know how often we still see that. You know, based on the, should I say, if you look at the price of it, it maybe does make sense, but nothing wrong with 440C, I guess. A 440C with a good heat treat, great blade steel, great for EDC, easy to maintain. What you can see these lovely little machine lines, a little bit of design element on the, so it is all stealthy, but there is still a little bit of a design element to those scales. And then the scales on either side don't actually match. So I'm not sure what the idea of that big sort of milled area there was, if it's just design, I suppose. Holding it doesn't seem to have any real purpose for it to be there, so I'm assuming that that is just aesthetic. Knife size, so I'm grabbing behind that forward finger choil, and you can see my medium-sized hands, I still get a good 4-finger purchase on that. Bigger mittens are your little finger is going to fall off the back there, I'm sure. But if you choke up, and it very clearly is intended for that with that big front finger choil, choking up, there's plenty space on that, and that is a really comfortable grip on this knife. It really feels like, that's not its purpose. That is its purpose. That's what feels good. Nice classic drop point blade shape on it, a little swedge running across the top. And then we've got this very pronounced plunge line, and then quite a large ricasso on this knife. What is quite interesting is the way that they have done, well, I say interesting, but most knives, let's actually check that out. I might have something on the desk here that I can look at. But most knives, you've got that forward finger choil that also serves as a sharpening choil, which means when you've got your finger on that choil, if you do stray forward, you do stray forward onto the edge. Here, that choil is completely into the ricasso. And then you've got a second little sharpening choil for your edge, meaning that your finger is well and truly away from that edge. I think that's quite a nice, safe way of doing that, especially if you're intending a knife to be sort of a heavy use knife. And thinking of that, I've got, just have a look at you see now, that's typical of what you see with a choil. Now, there's a forward finger choil. This is also a Fox knives, by the way. This is the Suru. But you've got the forward finger choil that acts as your sharpening choil as well. So when you got your finger on there, and that's what I spoke about, if your finger for some reason does stray forward, you're straying onto the edge. The way this knife is designed, that's not the case, because you stray forward and you're still within that sort of broader ricasso area, and you've still got that sharpening choil between your finger and the edge. I think you see what I mean. Anything else that I need to go? Oh yeah, I did want to mention it is a very, very open design. This, so open that knife, you can see there's only one standoff here. So all of that is sort of floating area. There's nothing else in terms of standoffs or spaces or anything on that knife, just the single standoff over there. It does feel very tough. I mean, there's not if you really push, you can get a little bit of flex in the back there, but when you grab it in your hand, you don't feel any flex on that handle, on the scales or anything. It is fully stainless steel lined all the way, so your G10 is sitting on top of a full stainless steel liner in there, and then obviously that liner lock in the front there, easy to get easy to unlock. Is that the word? You know what I mean. Deployment on those ball bearings, it is snappy, nice action, and it's not the sort of smoothest feeling knife. You kind of get that scrapiness. It's not grittiness, but if you listen to it, you can hear, and you won't pick that up. You got to sort of just put it next to your ear, but you can feel that sort of kind of, you know what I mean, sound to it. But it is drop shuddy. Well, with a little bit of with a little bit of coaxing, it is drop shuddy. Good detent. And I don't normally check blade centering, but there you go. Blade centering on him is really good. It is tip up carry, right hand only. So that deep carry style pocket clip that, let me turn that so you can see, that deep carry style pocket clip that loops around, and very nicely done. The clip is countersunk into the G10, and then the screw is countersunk into the clip. So it's very on the inside there, if you know what I mean, is very low profile. So there's nothing that can snag up on cloth. So that space that the clip creates is all open and free space. And as I mentioned, it is the deep carry style. But if you put it in your pocket, you're just going to get that little, well, you're obviously going to get the whole clip showing, but sticking out of your pocket at the top, you're just going to get that slight little corner. So very discreet. And then that clip is going to show. But yeah, overall, the knife actually really does feel good. You know, the only, I suppose, question mark some people might have is the 440 steel, but that might be, let's face it, a little bit of blade steel snobbery. Nothing wrong with a good 440 steel. And if you're going to use if it's going to be a hard use knife, do you want something too expensive with too much of an exotic steel that might be more difficult to sharpen, etc., etc.? 440 perfectly serviceable, and for a hard use EDC, probably really all you want. If you're not going to go and survive in the bush for the next 40 years, it's it's going to be perfect for an EDC knife. All in all, nice. I like the feel of the knife. They probably could do this in a better steel at a higher price point, because I think the design and feel of the knife actually warrants it. If you do want a more expensive knife, the design deserves a more pricey version of this. Nothing wrong with this, as I said, but it is a really great, good feeling knife. It does feel good in hand. This knife, once again, provided to me by Blades and Triggers in South Africa. Check out their website, BNT Online. Great range of knives, good bunch of guys. The price there is very reasonable in South Africa, 1,095 Rand. And I mentioned in one of my other videos, chat to the guys. They're a nice bunch of guys. They'll negotiate a little bit with you, so they're happy to talk. They're interested in making you a long-term customer. And then those who are interested in the dollar price, international views, $67.95. I saw this on Knife Center. One thing I didn't do, of course, is the size comparisons. So let's have a quick look at that. I've got my Spyderco Manix 2. Little bit bigger, but I guess in that ballpark. So that sort of knife, if the Manix 2 appeals to you from a size and feel perspective, so would this. Roughly the same type of knife, not the same materials, but the purpose. And what is this? Well, I don't know why I wanted to just close it. It's open on my desk. This is the Benchmade Mini Barrage, slightly smaller knife, just to give you an idea. I've got my Medford Slim Midi Marauder, all similar in size to the, what did I call this thing? Munin? Yeah, one of the two. BlackFOX Munin or Munin. There it is, guys. Nice little knife. Check it out. If you're looking for something, in that sort of size, it does feel good. It is nicely made. Oh, by the way, I do want to mention this. So I've had a couple of Fox knives the last little while. That the factory edge has just been shockingly bad. Now, in fact, one of them is lying here on my. In fact, that's the knife I used now a second ago for the choil comparison, and this is a far more expensive knife. And the edge on it was that was the third one I got, and it's still not perfect. This guy, a much cheaper knife, and the edge is perfectly acceptable. Again, it's a factory edge, it's not a mirror edge, but it's even. The two sides match, and it's uniform all the way along. So I don't know if BlackFOX are made in a different factory. The main Fox brand are made in Italy, and one just expects something better from them. The overall knife really good. It's just that edge. Okay, not going to get into that again. Check out that review if you want to see it. But on this particular one, the edge is well, good, acceptable, really. This one might have been, I think this has been knocked up against something. Knocked up? No, that's not the correct term. It's been bumped against something. It seems to have a little nick on the edge there, but that's not the factory edge fault. That's obviously somebody's, maybe even me, has done something with that knife. Great knife, great price. If you're interested in something around this line, this sort of size, have a look. Good knife. Guys, that's I think all I have for you today. Again, thanks so much for joining me. Go well and God bless.